In the upper left, in the red, he's playing for Dragon Kites Gaming. It's hero. And in the bottom right, in the blue, for Talon Esports, it's Dark. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, actually, as we take a look at this. Hero not rocking a clan tag. I'm used to either seeing like DKZ hero or, you know, clan tagged hero, but this is an untagged account. So does that say something about? No. I know for a fact that hero re-signed with DKZ for another year, like a month ago. And I know this because I was talking to other teams, prospective non-endemic Starcraft teams. So think like a Cloud9 or a Navi or something. And they were saying, hey, you know, Beo, you're pretty involved in the Starcraft scene. Who should we be looking to sign, right? We're trying to sign someone for Esports World Cup. And I said, well, you know, I don't know what Hero's contract status is, but you should take a look at Hero. We're going to get some map pool changes and some balance patch changes that should make Protoss really, he's already very good, but should really help Protoss. And he might be available. I don't know what his contract status is. And then I reached out to him. I said, hey, Hero, you know, I got some teams interested in you. What's up? And he's like, yeah, I just re-signed my contract. Literally like the week before you asked me. So, you know, that's how it goes. Anyways, as we take a look at this setup here, we've seen a lot of double adept heavy pressure coming out from Protoss players in general. And I mean, this is crazy actually coming out of here. Look at this. Twilight is halfway done before Cybercore starts researching. So it's still early. This is still early enough to say, yeah, Dark, this is going to be a Twilight build. This is not going to be some sort of Stargate opening. So Dark, you know, 330 spot, or excuse me, later Spore, certainly, because you really want to be, the Dark Templar timing would theoretically come later. But this is just the quickest possible glaives. This is, okay, so this is glaive before Robo. Glaive before Robo. How many gateways do you add here, Hero? That's the big question. He's going to add 2 more. Is this 3 gate glaives into a third base? I think that's going to be what this is. This is something that we've seen some players, Zhao most notably, back before he went off to military. We've seen some players messing around with, where it's kind of this aggressive build. Okay, it's just going to be 4 gate glaives. No Robo, though. Huh. So what's the calculus here, right? What is it that Hero... He's going to get his third base at a reasonable timing, 3:30, and it's a really nice timing. That's a Stargate timing for a third base, 100%. And he's going to put pressure on with glaives. And yes, Delta's not the shortest map, not the longest map. You can get across it fairly quickly. So he's not going to have any forward warp in position. That much is true. So this is just kind of like a light glaives pressure. I mean, glaives are done at 4 minutes. This is 30 seconds faster than it would normally. If you're talking Robo glaives, if you're talking about like the classic glaives timing, glaives are done at 4:30. That's when you're moving across the map. So this is 20 to 30 seconds faster. You're gonna warp in a couple of depths. There's a forge on the way behind this, so probably blink +1. This is a wild build from Hero. Maybe it's happened before. It's not bringing anything to mind, but there's the Robo, there's the forge. Maybe see charge. I don't know, but this is pretty cool, right? He's committing to the glaives, but he's not. Really what this is doing, this is forcing a reaction more than anything else. The Roach Warren's going to go down, 12 more Lings on the way. He commits the shade because the Lings aren't there in enough numbers just yet, but this is 6 adepts, and behind this again, 3:30 third base. It's a well-timed third. Like I certainly don't complete that shade anymore, but he's going to sit around the third base. He's going to force out a bunch of Lings, force Roaches here. I think that's the goal. Maybe snipe a Queen if he can. These Queens are pretty far forward. They're off creep. But Hero's just backing out. And Dark is down 10 workers off this. 8 workers now. And there's just blink +1 on the way. It's still going to be done right around that 6:30 timing. There's a warp prism on the way as well. Behind this, Hero really never stop probing. Oh God, guys, the mind games here is so good. This is great. This is awesome. So Hero at this point, he's rocking a 10 worker lead. He's still building a couple of glaive adepts because that's the tech he has at the moment, sure. And as long as he doesn't die to a Ling Ravager all in, which is what Dark's getting set up for, by the way, he's not droning anymore. He's like, I've been caught flat-footed. No, this is painful. He's just building more Lings, building more Ravagers. I kind of half expected the Adepts to go Shade on top of that. There was no defense there. As long as he doesn't die to this follow-up all-in from Dark, and that is scary. He's up, Dark's up twice the army supply. As long as he doesn't die to this all-in, Hero's in a wonderful spot. But for now, the Lings getting on top of the shield battery really early is a massive deal. It's such a big deal. Because what that means is now this third base, any follow-up time is not going to work out. Although these Lings kill 13 probes. Hero thought he was okay with the Adepts that he had. He wasn't. Absolutely not. So I think this third base dies. I don't, you got to be so careful of this around here. Yeah, you know, his glaives, they can go, and actually they're going to cancel their shade, but they can micro their way out of it, kill off a lot of these Lings. The problem is there's just so many Lings, and at the moment they get surrounded like this, the Biles are going to go down, kill off a lot of this. This was a really cool idea out of Hero. Unfortunately, Dark is of the camp of, if my opponent's doing something weird, just go kill him. There are 14 more Lings on the way. Again, he's not droning out of this. This is all in out of Dark, but I don't hate it. I think he's in a really nice position just to make sure that his opponent dies. +1's done, Blink is done, yeah, sure, but this third base is dead. And I think if you're Hero, I think you had to know that Dark wasn't committing to this, or wasn't committing any economy behind this, and you just give the third base up. I think if you try to hold it the natural, you're probably okay with Blink Stalkers, +1 Immortals, all that jazz, but I mean, Immortals and Stalkers against Ling Ravager is just not good. So Hero's dead. Game 1, he's going to try to hold on a little bit longer, I guess, but yeah, no, he is very much out of this game. Really cool build, actually, out of Hero. Unfortunately, Dark just kills him. Of course, if you like this, you want more Starcraft action on a semi-regular basis, I would love to make claims of, oh, no, a daily basis. Sometimes that doesn't happen. But anyways, go sub to the YouTube channel. I put up videos pretty consistently when I can, do my best. And also, of course, go follow the Twitch so you can see me live. I also stream live on YouTube, so if that's your bag, that's also great. But more followers on Twitch, always, even if you decide to go watch me on YouTube when I'm live, more followers on Twitch warms the cockles of my cold dead heart. So that's the true victory, right? It's not about making sure you never miss me, but just the cockles of my cold, dead, lifeless heart. Get a little warmer that day. Anyways, what are we going to see out of Hero? This is game number 2. For now, the 4-gate, Robolith Glaives, 333rd base, really cool idea. Unfortunately, just got a little too greedy with it. Dark just went across the map and killed him. So I don't think we're seeing this again in game 2. I think Oceanborn's probably not a map for it as well. It's a little longer across, so you know, one of the benefits of Side Delta is it's a fairly short map. So you can maybe get away with a Robolith Glaives and get some damage done and be a little bit more threatening with it. But on a map like Oceanborn, it's a little bit bigger. A little bit harder to get away with something like that. So it's going to be a Stargate opener out of Hero. That's going to be the story. Oh, wow. So, Carb Bjorklund says you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. And I feel like that's a joke about an old Brood War player, Starcraft player named Villain, but I am not sophisticated enough to properly know. But the big thing that had me said, oh, wow, is the fact that Raynor lost to Nightmare. He's been showing a little bit of weakness in PvZ. Now, granted, some of that, well, not in Europe, but he hasn't run into, you know, he didn't run into max packs in his run into the playoffs. I think the best Protoss player he, or Zerg player he ran into was like someone of Night Phoenix's caliber. And again, Nightmare's very good. He's been up and comer, and maybe this is the season he finally makes a deep run in the GSL. That'd be awesome. But I would never expect Nightmare to beat Raynor. Not in a million years. Taking a map, sure, but not winning the entire series. So that's a big result for Nightmare. Big ups for Nightmare there. And now I get to go in and pull up Rainer's Discord and see them all complaining about it, which is great, right? Content. Not great for Raynor though. And if anyone, if anyone's a member of that, member of Rainer's Discord, I'm sure that that's going to get clipped and linked over, and I don't mean it. But anyway, all right. So it's a Stargate opener from here in this game number 2 of our series. And Oracle's going to dive in. He's going to get 2 drones. half damage on the hull, so not too bad. Again, when you go for something like this, it's all about the second and the third oracle, not necessarily the first. You get something, sure, but it's when you one shot. That's really where they start to become much more valuable. And if your hero, maybe with the adept shading as well. So now oracle comes in from a weird angle. 3 total workers go down. Man, what is it with oracles taking tons of damage? What did I say 2 minutes ago that has people listing invertebrate? Because Scythecan says spider. Alex G. Punk says slug. What did I say 2 minutes ago that was about random invertebrate? I have no idea. Anyways, this is what I was talking about in terms of like if you're a hero, you're gonna do something like this. And actually, this is 6 adepts, a couple oracles, 7 adepts, a couple oracle shades right on top of things. And with the oracles, I mean, these lings die very quickly. Adepts don't kill queens super fast, but you give them enough time and they will. And for now, this is mining time in the natural, totally denied into the main base. Shade completes on in. And there's a stasis trap here as well. It doesn't really get much of anything, but it forces the drones into the adepts. That being said, it's only 5 workers going down here. Stasis trap's going to try to get not. Oh, I was going to say it's not going to get anything, get targeted down, but 2 queens, a couple lings. Shut down for quite a while here. So, in the balance of power, right? 17 lings, 5 drones for 7 adepts. That is 7 adepts. And if it, without the link bounty, I would say absolutely not worth it. As it stands, it's okay. Not incredible, though. And Dark behind this Ling Hydra timing. In part because... Oh, man. The meta evolution we're seeing... Okay, never mind. I was like going to say, man, the meta evolution we're seeing in PvZ is wild. Super cool. But no. So, hero, he flirted with glaives. He capped it for half a second. No, this is going to be +1 charge, which is really good against... Ling Hydra if you hit it small enough numbers. If Ling Hydra gets to like a significant amount of supply, I'm not going to throw a number because it kind of varies by game state, but gets to a significant amount of supply, all of a sudden the zealots can't get through the lings in time and Hydra's annihilate everything. So that's something you got to be careful about. But okay, so it's 4 oracles, 7 more gateways on the way, going up to 9 gates. 9 gate +1 charge, 4 oracles. I feel like you'd like a couple more. And this build from hero is just taking a page out of SOS's book. It's a lot of fun as we're going to see stasis traps going down. He's going to try to maybe get these hydras, but man, stasis traps aren't getting much of anything here now. 10 hydras are on the way. But notice what hero's doing. Notice where he's warping in the zealots. They're not in the natural. They're not in the third. They're in the main base. He's hiding these for as long as possible. And he's trying to make... this is just standard hero style. And it's not charge. It's blink. Maybe glaives. Probably not glaives, but it's blink. And ideally, he's just going to catch Dark just totally off guard with this massive amounts of zealots running onto the other side of the map. Now, there is no pylon on the map. There is no warp prism. There's no robo even. So what you see is what you get here. Zealots are going to have to slowly filter across, but this Hydra link out's not very big. Oracles dive on top of the queens, knocking them down, and realistically, these oracles are a ton of damage with zealots on top. It's hard for the Hydras to target that down. Hydra's trying to run back into a corner, and as much as I say that, you know, this is oracles are a lot of damage, this seems reasonable. And more zealots as they run in, it's still seeming pretty reasonable here. Not a lot of bulk to this army. Drones are going to have to get pulled. Another round of zealots are going to should run across the map. If there was a pylon, if there was a warp prism, Dark would be dead. As it stands, Dark is still in a really bad spot. Here's up 5 army supply. Here's up in workers. Dark's building these hydras. Hydra ling is, again, it's not good against +1 charge. +1 zealots, 2-shot lings. They get through them very quickly. 12 drones are dead. By the way, 4th base on the way for hero. This game is not over just yet. Dark is the master of coming back from situations like this, but as it stands, if you ask me to call the game right now, I mean, hero is in such a commanding position. He's got +2 halfway done. He's got a robo on the way now. Blink just about done. Hero is in such a solid position. Now, we might be hitting critical mass at this point where the zealot count is just a little bit too high, too low compared to Dark's army to properly take the fight here. So he's just gonna have to run away, and that's a lot of zealots going down. But again, there's a next level. There's a Robo Bay. They're adding in a Warp Prism, and I'm really curious. I think this might just be for Colossus. I think that's probably... You may not have time, Hero. I think that's the thing. Baneling Nest is just about done. More Lings on the way. Dark is kind of all in on this because, again, he has to be. He's taking a lot. Oh, man, I love this Sentry Count. It's such a big deal. It means these Banelings are going to be a lot harder to go and find any sort of value with. But as this Robo's done, I think you just get Disruptors. They're so much faster. And, yeah, you know, technically, Colossus against this army is really, really good. But you don't have the time for that, Hero. So Disruptors should be the order of the day. Banelings come filtering in. The Force Fields are really solid Zealots on the backside here. And with +2 done, with the Force Fields as they are, I just don't see this working for Dark. He's oh man. Picasso here with the Force Fields is doing such a nice job. I mean, Stalkers are starting to get whittled down. This army is starting to get whittled down a little bit. The Lings are going to pop up pretty soon. Colossus getting chronoed out. Okay. All right, then. Once this Colossus out, I think you're fine. But, man, I got dicey for a second. Not enough to kill heroes, certainly, but enough to make me wonder just a little bit. Carl Bjorklund saying the hero-villain comment was, oh, the Dark Knight. Okay. I thought that was a reference to, because there was a Brood War Pro, I think, early StarCraft Pro named Villain. And I had assumed, Carl, because you capitalized the N, you were making reference to the StarCraft player. Not just a Dark Knight reference. Anyways, Lurker Den on the way. Dark, the timing didn't really work out. It equalized supply a little bit briefly, but now Hero's got +2, one Colossus, second one just about done, extended Thermal Lance. Now, the one downside, I guess, to this for Hero, he doesn't really have a push timing before Lurker. He might move out with this because he's just he's double the army supply. You know, he's just in a really solid spot, but Extended Thermal Lance won't be done before Lurker Den's done. You know, there is that, but I mean, I just don't see Dark winning this. Yeah, he's like Colossus. He's dead. We're going to game 3. And I feel like, you know, counterattacked, died. Counterattacked. What? It's kind of like the Henry VIII Queen, the Queens of Henry VIII mnemonic, right? It's like, you know, divorced, beheaded, survived, something. So I forget what it is after 4. Like divorced, beheaded, survived, divorced, beheaded, died. I don't know that it's that synchronous, but anyway. Attacked, counterattacked, lived, attacked, counterattacked, won, attacked, counterattacked, died. There we go. Dark is literally Anne Boleyn. We have people in chat are saying clearly, this is a result right here. These games, the sentries builds that we're seeing are a result of Hero. Result of the buff to sentries actually doing bonus damage to shields, but actually I'd make an argument that you could make an argument that sentries are a little bit more viable in the mid game because they now are no longer light units, so banelings don't kill them nearly as much. Also though, we got a 2-gate opener, 2-gate before the Nexus coming out of Hero in this game, which means we're gonna get 2 adepts much quicker into this game, maybe a little bit more damage much quicker. And I like this because Dark's going for the gold, right? Dark, you know without a shadow of a doubt, Dark's going to go for gold. You give it Alcyone, that's what he's going to go for. And given that to be true, given that you know that that is true, how do you look to punish it? Do you go for glaives? And that's an option that we see max specs go for that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Do you just build adepts off 2 gateways, delay your natural a little bit more, but put adepts on the other side, get them across the map before the Lings can go and start to, knock this down, just deny mining? I really like this from Hero. This is a pretty cool response. Now, a queen is a little bit too much. You don't kill a queen all that easily, but it does buy some time. It forces a ton of Lings out, actually. And this is awkward, right? So, Link speed's done in about 30 seconds or so. That's going to be the case for this. And as more adepts are shading across, Lings are going to show up in the main base. So it's going to be a full recall, and now the pressure's done. Hero, I liked the idea, and it did deny all mining time in the natural for quite a while, but you did have to recall back home. The Lings in the main base are just a bit of a problem. Now, nice pro pull means the Lings don't kill anything. There is that. And now all the rocks are open, so adepts are like, don't mind if I do. Here we go. Let me dive in. They get a drone. But of course, you got to be scared because there's no recall here. Lings are going to get on top even without speed. Now speed's done, but even without speed, if you're trapped, there's nowhere to go. So 2 adepts go down, third one's dead, and all of a sudden here, I mean, this was heavy commitment from hero. Going in double gate before the Nexus is a significant commitment. Now, he shouldn't get broken by these lings. This probably shouldn't be the case, but it's kind of cool. He goes double gate. I don't know what the Cybercore timing was, but he goes double gate into Stargate. He's going to get oracles on top of this. Double gate adept into oracles. Pretty cool, right? Dark may be expecting some sort of ground tech. He may not get fours in time. I love this shade from the adepts, actually. You might say, shading in all those lings feels rough. Yeah, but that's a 4 deep glaives. They can all hit the lings, and only one link can hit the adepts. It is a really nice position there. So for now, it gets on top of the queen, half damage. And what this means, actually, is this oracle can go on a queen sniping mission. It's just going to get drones, okay. Really, a queen sniping mission is 2 oracles, I guess, but 3 more drones go down. And hero's doing a solid job. Not a perfect job, but a solid job of minimizing the advantage this gold base gets. So for now, again, the adept shade forward. Get a couple more lings back out, but what are we at oracle count wise? We're at 2, I think. Yeah, 2 oracles. There we go. Diving in once again. There's no spore here. 3 more drones go down. Dark's had this gold base for a while. Yeah, but he hasn't really been consistently mining out of it. So sure, Dark, you got your gold, but you're not really seeing that economic advantage that we might otherwise look to see if we look at the graph. I mean, it is not even Dark favorite. Hero's been pretty favored in the economy in this game for the most part. He's up in workers. This gold base is just not paying off. And I really like how Hero's doing this. He's not really committing, as we're going to see the adepts try to shade into the natural. It's probably not, or the third base, I guess, but into the natural position. Not really going to happen. Just holding the Xel'Naga for now. But Dark has just not been reaping the benefits of this gold base. Now he kind of is. There's enough lings, enough queens out that Hero's going to be forced back home. And this is where it gets a little scary, right? Because you do commit. The gold base is not about a macro game. The gold base is about running across the map with as many units as you can build early. Queen walking in this case because you get your creep very far forward, and it's about killing the Zerg player. So, or killing the Protoss player. So for now, it's a lot of lings, a lot of roaches, queens on the other side just to deal with these oracles. Blink is now on the way. It's not going to be done for a dog's age. And yeah, there's static defense on the way at this third base, but not ready just yet. Kind of dicey here. Should be ready. There should be an overcharge ready at the very least. So shield battery 1's done, 2nd one's done, 3rd one's on the way. And I love, oh man, I love what Hero's doing here. So for now, the biles are really good. First, gonna knock 1 shield battery down pretty quickly. 2nd one's still there. Overcharge is there. And for now, it's keeping Hero alive, but overcharge gets popped on the biles very quickly. But I love that Hero's going for a Dark Shrine. It's not an easy defense, absolutely, but there will come a time when Dark has no lair. Dark's all in on Hatch Tech. He's got spores, absolutely, but this is a defensive Dark Shrine is what it is. And, I mean, queens are starting to fall a little bit more. Hero needs to buy a minute, and I think losing the third base is not great, especially because this is a gold. But if he can go and get counter damage done with Dark Templar, that's going to be your avenue, because, again, Dark's only on 35 drones. Despite this being a gold, this is very committed from our Zerg player, and Hero's just looking to buy time. Again, +1's on the way. Blink's on the way. Dark Shrine just about done. And by the way, Oracles are about to dive into the natural. There are no queens here. So Dark does a really nice job targeting down the low Oracle. That's really nice. But 6 drones go down. A bunch more spores kills them off. 8 dead drones here. So Dark, 33 workers. Yeah, he's got the gold. Sure. Look at this income. Hero, despite losing his third base, pretty drastically ahead in economy. And yeah, Dark's mining a little bit. The problem is there's no lair. There will be no lair for quite a while. Dark's getting his 4th base sure fine, but this +1 blink timing, Dark Templar as well. Oh man, this is a ton of overlords here. And just blink onto the other side of the lings. What are you gonna do? Yeah, more overlords are gonna go down. Dark's gonna be supply blocked pretty heavily off this. And again, his economy's horrible. So yeah, we're gonna see rocks go down. Hero may not get his last overlord. Oh, he's gonna get the last overlord. Oh, are we kidding? He's gonna get the last overlord. And Dark's now 85 out of like 82. So despite Hero losing the third base, I really don't hate his position. He's up in workers significantly. DT's into the natural and the spore's dead. Oh God, this hurts. And in the main base, the spores will run it over there. So DT's gonna show up in the main base where there is no detection. So Lings are going to be annoying, and they're going to body block this as much as they can. This is probably going to handle the DT. If you're really next level, you go and you drop a mile on top of it. But, I mean, these DTs are getting a lot here. It's 4 dead drones. Yeah, that's a thing. But this DT has 12 kills. It will eventually go down, sure. Look at the income here. 57 workers to 43. Blink's done. +1's done. Charge is done. herO's third base is done once again. And yeah, Dark's double expanding. 4th and 5th base. Oh, well, I guess one of them's done. Well, yeah, both done now. But 46 workers. That's not a 5-base economy. So +1's the story here. Dark's going to have that one. Really solid against Blink Stalkers. Less so against, say, a bunch of charge lots. There's a Robo Bay as well. So I like hero again, warping and more DTs. This is probably not going to be for harassment. Well, he's running across with them. Never mind. I was going to say, well, no, those are stalkers. I was going to say probably not for harassment. This is more likely just going to be for a bunch of Archons, and hero's getting rapidly into his push timing. He's going to have Colossus, probably. He may decide to go into disruptors against this Ling road Ravager tech, but no, it's just going to be Colossus. And with the Colossus on the way, with all these stalkers here, with this tech getting ready, Dark does have to make a transition. It looks like his transition is Ling road Ravager, +2 melee, +1 carapace. I wouldn't be surprised to see quick ultras off this, just because of how Dark likes to play. I kind of, I was a little bit silly. I was casting a laser yesterday. I'm like, melee upgrades, quick layer, quick hive. Like, clearly this is ultras. And Roddy's like, no, what are you talking about, Bale? It's not a laser. In fairness, that's not a laser. That is Dark, though. That is absolutely the type of thing that Dark does. Is Stalker will fall, but we're going to have this powerful timing. First Colossus done, second one on the way. +2's going to be done soon. Extended Thermal Lance, more Archons. And hero, 2 Colossus, a bunch of Blink Stalkers, +2 attack, Archons. Yeah, Dark's up in supply now. This is a very hard army for Dark to deal with. Certainly without Vipers, say. Let's see what Dark can get done. It's always scary, of course, to move on creep. You have to be very careful about some sort of crazy Zergs around. That's always going to be very true. But hero's just kind of posturing. He's got this push timing, absolutely. He may decide to try to take advantage of, but he's not really going for it. He's just using this to clear creep up a little bit, take a 4th base. And, you know, Dark he had this gold base. He's had it for a while. Only 3 mineral patches remaining. 600 minerals in this one, 500. You got like 1,800 or so minerals in the base. It's not a lot left. So here's now extended thermal lance. That's the time he's really looking for. That's properly when he wants to move on the map and see what he can find. Army supply is about 30 down, but again, this is Ling road Ravager, not exactly the most supply effective army, and more zealots get warped in. Stalker's leading the charge. Target the Banelings down. Archons survive. I love the positioning here out of here. I mean, look at this. He's got Archons. They're not forward flank because the Stalkers are what's poking. He's got Archons on the left side, Archons on the bottom side. He knows that that's where a flank's going to come in with Lings. Colossus at the front lines can properly deal with any Lings there. So these Archons, they're not really doing a lot of damage. Their job is just to defend against a big surround. And I love that from here. He's handling this slow and steady, getting himself forward. And now as he puts himself in a little bit more forward of a position where he can really build this ball together, Archons are a little bit more clumped up. Now Link's trying to get on top of everything. This stasis trap is so good here. And the Colossus are just totally away from where the rest of the army was. So the Banelings get solid connections. It doesn't matter. Queen's now on top of the Colossus. It's actually really nice. They actually are doing a pretty nice job. Anti-air range is going to kill off one of these Colossus here. And we actually don't have a Warp Prism with this army. Not just yet. But still, the Colossus, one of them survives. All the Archons are still here. And rather quickly, Hero equalizes the supply. It's 60 workers to 69, which means his army supply is just a little bit better. Another Colossus on the way. And again, I'm a little surprised at the lack of a Warp Prism. I imagine, even a Warp Prism for Micro would be really nice, but Hero's like, no, I need disruptors. I need more Colossus here. I need my tech. So, more power to you, Hero, fair enough, right? You're going to drop a pylon, that's your Warp Instinct. And again, we're going to see this big surround go down. Disruptor shots on the right side, actually really nice. Left doesn't really get things all that well. This Colossus micros away. Bailing's trying to get on top of it. Will eventually fall, but at what cost here? Dark now at 100 supply, building more Lings, and he's dead. Beautiful execution there out of Hero, making sure that the gold base never comes to fruition, holding on, backing up when he had to, and Hero knocks down Dark on the round of 8. He's in the round of 4 here. Pretty cool games out of Hero.